इस बार क्या होगा यार, एक ही चीज बजट ही नहीं है ब्रो.
वही.
Hi guys, what's up? क्या हो रहा है? Why are you so serious?
We are trying to figure out what to do with this year's budget.
Huh? Why is everyone so worried about the budget?
Didn't we just have a budget announcement? Why is there another one?
And why are there 2 budgets this year?
Does this affect the stock market?
Does it affect the common man?
Guys, wait. हाँ, बहुत सारे questions है, but I'll answer one by one. Ishan, let's start with you.
I want to know why everyone is so concerned about this year's budget.
Ishan, unlike the myth that common man doesn't get affected by budget, it actually really does affect a common man, right? I'll walk you through examples. First, very interesting example. Say your grocery bill every month right now is 50,000. घर पे जितने खर्चे लग रहे हैं, most of it is like the staples that you buy. Out of 50,000, currently you pay about say 5% as your GST taxes. If GST on staples becomes 10%, right? Then what are you spending on your taxes? About 5,000 rupees a month. Annually, what you're spending is about 60,000 rupees a year, which is just going on additional taxes that you're paying on your staples. You understand this? Now it is affecting your budget. Take another example. Let's say, what's your phone bill? 4-5,000 rupees a month. उसके ऊपर आज के दिन आप 18% taxes देते हो. अगर ये 18 की जगह 8% पर आ जाए, say half of it, okay? Then you will basically, instead of say 5,000 into 12, 60,000 rupees of 60,000, if you reduce your taxes by say 10%, you save 6,000 to 10,000 rupees a year just by a simple change in the tax percentage out there. This is how the budgets would start affecting common man. Do you guys understand this? Okay. Now also understand, budget basically figures out कि कौन से sector में कितना allocation होगा. Defense में कितने पैसे जाएंगे, how much money is going to be spent on healthcare, how much money is going to be spent on agriculture. Let's say the budgets decide that there's more money which is going to be spent on agri-infra across the next couple of years. So we understand that the throughput of agriculture sector will increase, right? And this is a good time to then go and invest in agriculture sector, right? Cool. What's your question?
Why did we have 2 budgets this year?
खुद सोचो क्यों हुआ होगा, right? This was the election year. It was a little unique because when the government presents a budget, they will present the budget for whole year. But this time the government didn't know if they are going to come back or not. So if they don't come back, whatever initiatives they have taken would only be executed by this existing government, because if the government changes, they'll also change the budgets for different sectors, allocations, right? And for that, whatever budget was created by the government earlier, it was a provisional budget till the election happens. Now that the election is done, BJP is back in power, they're going to set up a full year budget from here onwards. Right? Does that clarify? Devika, you had a question.
Yeah. How does the budget impact the stock market?
Okay. Understand this. Stock market is very deeply ingrained in the financial system. So what happens? Whenever the new budget comes in, it will affect the taxes for a specific sector. There will be incentives given to different sectors. There will be government spending which is increasing on a specific sector. So what would happen अगर government spending बढ़ रही है, उस sector के revenues बढ़ेंगे, most probably the profits will also increase, so that sector's stock prices will start increasing. If taxes increase in a specific sector, let's take an example, tobacco. So what is going to happen? अगर taxes बढ़ गए, तो tobacco sector के profits decrease होंगे. Decrease होगा तो share prices should ideally be coming down, and that's how it is going to start affecting that specific sector and the stocks in that particular sector. Did you know that street has very specific expectations from every budget, saying taxes कम होंगे, इस sector में बढ़ेंगे, personal taxes में क्या effect आएगा? If the budget is not the popular budget, you will see that the street basically penalizes the budget. That is, stock market would start correcting for those few days. If the budget is a very popular budget, then you will see suddenly the stock market going up once the budget is announced. Does that solve your question, Devika?
It does.
But I have a question.
बताइए.
How can a common man benefit from this year's budget?
Understand this. When there is a optimization in direct taxes, right? That is the taxes that you pay directly on your income. अगर वो optimize होता है, what is going to happen with that optimization? Your savings would increase because you're not paying so much taxes as you used to. That saving, when it is increasing, where is it going? It is probably going in more spending. Your spend power increases, which helps you improve the GDP. On the other side, increase in financial inclusion and say insurance sector. What is it gonna do? It is basically gonna reduce your healthcare spend, which again increases your disposable income. Where does it go? Either you're spending it or at best you start investing it. Very interestingly, in similar line of thought, if there's a reduction in capital gain taxes, what would you start doing? मेरे जो FDs है जिस पे मैं 30% tax pay कर रहा हूँ on the interest that I am actually making, I will rather not do that and I'll start investing in mutual funds and stock market because the long-term capital gain becomes lesser. Same thing if extended to startup ecosystem. If the long-term capital gain reduces, what would happen? A lot of startups which are actually flipping the company, that is when they go and register their headquarters in Singapore or in US with just one single reason that they want to reduce the capital gain tax, they'll all start setting up their headquarters in India and all the capital gain that they are trying to save will basically come back to the Indian economy.
Speaking of investment, what do you think about the defense and railway sectors? Do you think they'll outperform this year as well?
Acha, ye समझो. Why were they outperforming in the last few quarters, right? The interim budget which came, it gave a huge impetus to both defense and railway sector. The same government has come back. They probably have the same agenda for both the sectors. So the spending, the kind of subsidies and the tax benefits which were given to defense and railway sector should continue even after this budget or probably would even increase. So my view is, and I can be wrong, railway and defense sector both should be outperforming the market at least for next couple of quarters. In addition to that, I also feel banking and finance should take a center stage now, simply because whenever an economy is growing very fast, the first sector which has to grow and perhaps earlier than every other sector is the banking and finance sector. Got it?
Yeah, but like nobody is an expert like you. So how can a newbie like me start making some decent profits after this budget?
Ishan, first thing first, right? Understand where the government spending is going to go. Second, most importantly, what kind of stimulus is being provided to different sectors. And then one of the most important is what kind of tax benefits are being extended to sunshine sectors. Once you understand this, then take a top-down approach. Saying, chalo, mujhe ab samajh mein aa gaya, this sector should be growing. If this is growing, what are the few good companies out there which are really performing well? What is the outlook of that company for next 2 years? Management kya keh raha hai? Growth kahan se aayegi? And then go and look at what the analysts are saying. There are a lot of brokers who would be covering those sectors, those specific companies. So look at their reports. And now once you gain confidence saying, ab mujhe samajh mein aa raha hai, this sector is going to grow. I've identified the companies which are going to grow from here. And now I can go and invest. But always remember, when you're investing, always put a stop loss there. Got it?
Okay, I might have understood the budget a little, but how do I really use this information to profit in the stock market?
अच्छा, let's take an example. ठीक है? सोचो कि जो personal tax slabs है वो change हो गए हैं and you have now more money with you because you are paying lesser taxes. अगर आप tax कम pay कर रहे हो तो आपकी savings बढ़ गई है. What are you gonna do with this money, right? Maybe probably spend on aspirational buying. What would you do?
I'll to buy a car.
हॉलिडे पे जाऊंगा.
I'll do both.
ठीक है, तो इसी को लेके चलते हैं. Say you'll buy a car or you'll go on holidays, and if across middle class this is what happens, that is aspirational buying increases simply because there's more disposable income with you. You'll go on holidays, I'll go and check कौन से online travel agencies है which are listed, उनके stock prices क्या है, revenue शायद बढ़ने वाली है because the consumer demand is increasing. Same thing with cars, right? The top 2-3 car manufacturers, stock prices क्या है, revenues कहाँ हैं, क्या growth थी और कहाँ जाने वाली है. और अगर वो growth ज़्यादा है, if it is gonna grow exponentially या demand इतनी बढ़ रही है, तो I'll go and buy those stocks. It's as simple as that. Make sense?
What about you, Ajay? How's your portfolio changing before this upcoming budget? Which sectors are you excited about?
So, पहले ये समझो कि अभी भारत देश में क्या हो रहा है. If the economy is gonna grow fast, the one sector which always, and it's a thumb rule, has to grow faster than the economy is the finance sector. So what am I gonna add? I'm gonna add the banking stocks to my portfolio. Second, very importantly, our country is really hungry for more and more infrastructure improvement. Right? And this is also the sector which provides more and more livelihood to the bottom of the pyramid. But क्योंकि infrastructure spending बढ़ रही है, we also know that government stimulus is gonna come there. I'll go and add stocks in infrastructure sector. But while that is happening, अगर infra में spend हो रहा है, तो what will also come up is engineering. Because When that is growing, at the same time, you will need engineering services. So I'll also go and add some stocks and probably the top 2 stocks in engineering sector. And finally, I'll probably retain railway and defense stocks in my portfolio. Make sense?
Okay, Ajay. I have one last question for you. Can you just share a stock tip जिसमें मैं invest कर सकूँ इस budget के बाद?
Stock tips. You know, guys, this is something you should actually understand and learn. Do not go after stock tips. Don't follow Telegram channels. Don't fall prey to WhatsApp groups which are telling you कि अच्छा ये stock खरीदो. This will double in next 1 month. Right? You'll most probably be losing your money out there. The best thing that you can do is actually follow SEBI registered advisors, right? These are the folks who actually do a lot of research, understand the market, the sectors, the stocks. They can give you the right suggestions. And अगर फिर भी कोई आपको आके बताता है कि यार ये स्टॉक खरीद लिए डबल हो जाएगा, ask them to show you the StockGro portfolio that they have. This will help you understand कि वो कितने पानी में, उसको सच में स्टॉक मार्केट समझ में आता भी है या वो ऐसे ही आपको फालतू के स्टॉक टिप्स दे रहे हैं. You know what? Greed is good, but risk management is what saves the day for an investor to come back to the arena another day and stay invested in the growth of the country. I'm personally very bullish on infrastructure, banking and finance, railways, and defense. Some of the favorite stocks out there is IRCTC, RVNL, HAL, in infrastructure L&T, and banking Axis and ICICI. But guys, please understand, this is my personal choice. I'm picking these stocks as per my own risk and reward analysis. What you have to figure out is what is your risk appetite, what works for you, and you accordingly build your portfolio. Guys, I hope I've answered all your questions. Huh? Good. Chalo, बहुत भूख लग रही है. Let's go and increase the consumerism of our country.
आज तो CEO का इंटरव्यू ले लिया.
मजा आ गया भाई.
So what are you guys finally investing in?
That's a suspense.
मैं भी नहीं बता रहा.
Don't bother. I'll check your StockGro portfolio.
अरे यार.